us through kind of what your frustrations were there in the second quarter leading up to your ejection?
As far as
you were chirping at Scott Foster a bit, so I was just wondering, KD drew contact, he went to the line, and you were...
Yeah, it's personal. Yeah, we had a situation some years ago, and it's personal. You know what I mean? Like, the league know, everybody know, it's been a meeting and all that, and it's just a situation with my son, and so it's, so I'm okay with a ref talking, saying whatever, saying just don't use a tech to get your point across. You know what I mean? So I got to do a better job making sure I stay on the floor for my teammates. But yeah, that's that.
You said it's a situation with your son?
Yeah, they know what it is. He know what it is too. So
we don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's just I had a meeting with him, my dad, Doc Rivers, Bob Delaney, and all us. So yeah,
Scott Foster?
Yeah, him too.
Was that back when you were with Houston?
With the Clippers. So.
Did you come out of that meeting thinking?
It was a whole thing, man, but it's still been a thing for a while. So I ain't saying nothing to get fined, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is at this point.
What were your feelings at the beginning of the game when you heard the roar from the crowd after your tribute video?
Tribute video.
Because they did run a video like a minute or two before tip-off, just saying welcome back, Chris, and thanks for all you did.
Man, that's crazy. I'm in the back.
Yeah, they actually were.
Well, damn, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, for real, man, this fan base is amazing to me and my family. You know what I mean? Every game, like, 7 minutes on the clock, I'm in the back. I'm trying to get this engine started for the game. But, man, I appreciate them wholeheartedly, seriously. I had 3 amazing years here.
If I could ask one more about the incident. It looked like you were surprised at the second. Did you think it was done?
Don't use the tech to get your point across. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing with it. You know, we had these conversations all the time. There's some officials that'll talk back to you and stuff like that, which is sometimes it's healthy. It's an intense game. You know, you go back and forth, but it's like some police. Like you get to give a tech to get your point across. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, though, when something was said, I ain't care no more. You know, so it is what it is. I'm sure I'll see him in a Game 7 soon. That's how it always works out with him.
Just one more on that. You mentioned he's trying to make a point. What point do you think he's trying to make?
I don't know. He got the power because he can call it tech. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's been for a long time. You know what I mean? I ain't going to go there. Let me chill. Yeah, you got to say the judge, jury, and the... Yeah.
All right, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks for coming in.
Second quarter, I mean, even leading up to Chris's ejection, is that where everything just kind of started to...
Yeah. We were pretty good the first 8 minutes of the game. Ball was moving, and we were getting good looks, and energy was good. And the fouling in the late in the first quarter really hurt us, mid to late. I think they shot 13 free throws in the first quarter, which put us on pace to give up 52, which is exactly what we gave up. So we just foul. And you can't win in the NBA if you're constantly trying to attack a set defense after free throws, and you're giving up, basically 44 points tonight off the free throw line. So it was the fouling, and then I think the offense stopped too. The ball really stuck after the first 8 minutes, and so that second quarter was really frustrating for everybody. And I liked the way the bench came in and fought in the second half and gave us a chance, but we have to be much more consistent.
And then with Chris's ejection, I mean, from your vantage point, from your understanding, what Chris said, what Scott said, I mean, I know you also got a technical on that play.
Yeah.
What was the issue? What was going on there?
I think Scott just felt like Chris didn't stop, and he kept going, and that's why he gave him the second one. So that was his explanation.
What was your frustration when you were, drawing at him?
Well, I didn't think Chris deserved to be ejected. I mean, I don't, the first tech, absolutely, but I thought the second one was unnecessary. I mean, everybody gets frustrated out there, and but that's up to the official.
What was your thoughts on how the bench was able to get you guys back in the game? Was there any consideration of what Steph or?
There was consideration, but it's one of those games where the bench goes out and plays great, much better than the starters played, and they get you back in it, and you reward them and you stay with it. But we definitely thought about it. But those are weird moments, as a coach, where it doesn't feel right to go away from the group that is playing great. And I think that was a decision to stay with them because they were making the run, and it's kind of usually how we do it. Most teams do it.
What was sort of the practical impact and the emotional impact of losing Chris at that stage?
Yeah, it was a big deal. We need him, obviously. We're without Draymond. Without Gary, we're already shorthanded, and Chris knows that. So it was unfortunate, but again, to me, it's about our guys competing together, consistently competing together, and they have a really good connection. It's a great group. They really like each other, but when you see a team compete together, you know it, you feel it. It's the communication. It's playing with force. It's playing downhill. It's playing with great communication. You can hear everybody, talking defensively. Although in this building you can't hear anything because it's like a club. It's like a South Beach club out there. What are we doing? I'm being dead serious. Like, I couldn't hear anything out there. It's just the whole game. It's just this thumping techno club music. Can we just have a basketball game anymore? What the hell? Sorry for the rant.
Coach, what is the specific impact of not having Draymond in a game like this?
Well, he represents some of what was missing tonight. I thought Okogie came out and set a great tone. I thought Devin Booker came out and set a great tone defensively, just in us. We just without Draymond, sometimes we just don't have that juice, and that's where we really need him. So we need to get him back. Obviously, he's got to miss another game, but we need. I can see the blueprint for this team. I think we can be a really good team, and I see it. I know what it is, but it starts with us competing together and feeling that energy that comes when a group really is connected and competing and not caring about anything other than winning.
Steve, as you know, and as quickly came up on social media tonight, Chris has history with Scott. And Scott's got some history with you guys in the playoffs and Sean Livingston and all that. Are you worried all that was part of that? Does that enter your mind when something like this happens?
Not really. I mean, I'm thinking about everything else during the game. So I'm aware of that, but it wasn't something that I gave much thought to.
You said that you see the potential for this team or what they can be, and historically, I mean, your starting five has just been one of the best five-man units in this game. Why do you think that the starting five have been struggling a little bit more this year? Is it just the connection and feeling out the chemistry, or is there something a little bit more to it?
I wish I knew. It didn't help that Draymond missed camp, with the injury. But that group just hasn't clicked yet, and that's part of the blueprint. That group has to click. It's been the best five-man unit in the league the last 2 years, analytically and on tape. I mean, it shows. There's a connection. There's a lot of ball movement. Everybody understands their roles. So that group has to click, and once that group does, then I love the guys we have on the bench. I love the potential to put together some combinations that really click. So yeah, I think we can be really good. But that first group needs to set a tone and find their rhythm.
You talked at length about Clay the other night after his first 20-point game. He obviously comes back with another good shooting game.
Yeah.
How significant is that to you to see it twice in a row? And it looked like he only forced maybe one. It looked like his shots were mostly, as you talked about the other night, more in rhythm tonight.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Clay's shot at all. I mean, he's one of the great shooters of all time, and he historically starts seasons out slowly and then picks it up. And you can see he's finding his rhythm, so he's going to be fine. But he's part of that group that we got to see a greater connection. We got to see an energy and a group communication and a group sort of force. And right now it just feels like we're disconnected, and we got to find that connection.
When you say that, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Rick.
When you talk about the lack of connection, is that not just offensive, but I mean, in the second quarter, it looked like 3 or 4 times the Suns got right down the lane.
That's my point.
And you got mad. It looked like you won.
Yeah, and we made some mistakes on the game plan as well. Got to know personnel. We got to know who we're closing out to. But that's the connection I'm talking about. If a team is really connected, somebody misses an assignment, somebody else goes over and yells at them, and that there's an energy. There's a let's get this done, and I don't see that right now.
You mentioned needing your starters or players to not worry about anything else but just going out there and playing. When you watch a guy like Pods go out there and play like he did tonight, plus 20, and he had that really great game a couple weeks ago or something, is that a trait that you see that all he's focusing on out there, these young guys, all they're focusing on is hooping and that's it and nothing else?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's Brandon's nature. He just goes out and plays, and the ball tends to move, and he finds rebounds. He's just one of those guys who has a good knack and feel. So I thought Corey Joseph was great tonight. I mean, just the way he came out and set a tone and, brought the juice and the energy. And so we need that. We need that from everybody. It can't just be, a handful of guys.
For Dario, it's still a welcome back game for him too, so besides Chris. So do you feel like with him coming in and establishing that inside presence, and that basically galvanize your bench as well?
Dario's great. Fantastic player. We're lucky to have him. He got in the foul trouble early. That hurt us, but he was great. That's why we kept him out there the whole second half, and he can really play. So he's going to play a big role for us this year. Thank you.